And I feel like sometimes families won't let their child grow because they're scared of them failing. I think it's still like that maternal instinct of, I don't want my child to fail, so if I just keep holding them the rest of the way, then they won't fail because I'm there. But then at the same time, because they are there the whole time, the child no longer knows what to do when they're not there. So I think that's where the parents' love and like support kind of goes awry. And I think that is where we kind of become like this nation of kids who don't really know what to do. Like for an example, just like with myself, I have no idea how to do my taxes. My mom's done them for me since I was working, and she's never bothered to show me because she's like, why would you do them when I can just do them for you? We were just talking about it on the phone a little while ago. And so like, that's like a non-institutional example, but I think that's pretty common with people my age and people younger than me, is that their parents just do so much for them. Even when their child is in adulthood, it doesn't mean that they've left adolescence yet. I have a lot of opinions on parents, and taking care of their kids is a little bit too much. But yeah, so I'll move on to alcohol's hold on campus. None of this stuff was really too new for me. A lot of my undergrad experience was in like addictions therapy and stuff with my social work degree, so nothing was too like surprising, like the facts and everything like that they talked about, like everything like that. What I was surprised by was how many colleges are just surrounded by alcohol, like the maps at the very end. And then I kind of think about like here, like we're surrounded, like just from like my building at Woodworth, I'm surrounded by the Village on one side, and then I have a Muncie Liquor like just a block down. There's another Muncie Liquor about a mile like that way, I think. But there's alcohol everywhere, and it's cheap and easy to get at, for not only like college age people like me, but also like college age students that are younger than me. And so they have very easy access to alcohol, and it's very cheap and it's very fast. You just have to go down the street or right over to the Village, and you have access to it. I think a lot of the times campuses don't really want to stop the full thing of alcohol, like the full flow of alcohol. I think we talked about it in class where like, if we stop the flow of alcohol, then that stops a lot of our education, like programming, and it stops a lot of the commerce that goes through the store. Like thinking about like college kids, like there are bars that will shut down for the summer because college kids are gone. I don't know how common that is here, but at my undergrad that was very common. There were bars that would shut down during the summer and would only open during holidays when people would come back. So like the 4th of July or like Labor Day, stuff like that, when like people weren't necessarily in school, but the bars were closed down because college kids weren't there, and that was their main source of income, is college kids. And so by stopping the flow of booze, or the river of booze, then you're stopping so much money coming into the campus and coming into the community that surrounds the campus. And I think that everyone has a different agenda when they think about alcohol education. Because like alcohol educators, police officers, my RAs, the residence life staff, we're very much on like alcohol education and not necessarily like prevention. So like making sure you know, if you do choose to drink, then you're going to know how to drink safely and responsibly, and not essentially be an idiot and go out and do something that you'll regret later. Whereas you kind of see that echoed with like some stores where it'll just be like that little, I don't know if this makes sense, but you'll see that kind of like, oh, drink responsibly, that sticker on like all the alcohol bottles and everything that you buy, and every like commercial and everything like that. But in reality, the capitalist system doesn't want you to drink responsibly, almost, because when you drink responsibly, you only have like 1 or 2 drinks maybe a night. But when you don't drink responsibly, you have 4 or 5, 6, 7, sometimes upwards to 10 binge drinking level. And then that means more money coming into the stores. And so I don't think that they necessarily want people to drink responsibly. even if they don't want to say that. And that just may be like a cynical thing that I'm thinking about, but I think it's very different depending on who you ask on like what they think drinking responsibly entails. I feel like a lot of students are coming in more like understanding what alcohol is and like having more of an understanding of alcohol, because like I remember coming to college, like I barely knew anything about alcohol really. I knew like you could drink it and like just don't drink too much because you get gross and sloppy and stuff. But like these kids coming in now just know so much about alcohol. They know what the amount is like for a standard drink. They know how many they can handle in a night. They know what happens if they like leave their drink for too long, and like they know what happens if they do all this other stuff. And so I think that they are more educated on alcohol, and I think that's why we're seeing a little bit more of an understanding of what alcoholism is and like alcohol abuse. But then I also think that they still come here not fully knowing what they can and can't do, because they understand what a standard drink is, but they don't know how it's going to affect them. And I think that's where it really runs into that problem, is because when they come in with this knowledge, they still need to test the knowledge. So they need to test and see if they can handle more than the standard drink, because everyone likes to think that they can drink heavy. But not everyone can, especially when you've never drank alcohol before. And so students will come in being like, oh, I know I can have one drink, and then it takes about an hour for this to process and all this other stuff. So I'll just take one drink water, I'll drink again, and I'll just keep going. And then by the end of the night, I'll just sleep it off. Like, I think I can do that. Like, I know a lot of residents come in with that kind of confidence. And it's the same thing with like other use and abuse of other drugs. And then this also gets into the idea of sexual assault and everything like that, and I'm not really going to get into that topic too much, but it's just very fascinating to me because they are so educated. But I'm seeing personally a bigger of a rise of like alcohol problems, but they aren't necessarily like getting caught. It's like when they really mess up, when they get caught. So yeah, well, I think that's all for this little section. So that's what I have for part 1 of this. I think there's only actually like 3 weeks of readings, so just 2 more, and then yeah. So have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you in class. Bye.